ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् रामो राजमणिः सदा विजयते रामं रमेशं भजे रामेणाभिहता निशाचरचमु रामाय तस्मै नमः रामान्नास्ति परायणं परतरं रामस्य दासोऽस्म्यहम् रामे चित्तलयः सदा भवतु मे भो राम मामुद्धर समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ ईशावास्यमिदगं सर्वं यत्किञ्च जगत्यां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथाः मा गृधः कस्य स्विद्धनं कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषेच्छतगुं समाः एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे असुर्यानाम ते लोकाः अन्धेन तमसावृताः तांस्ते प्रेत्याभिगच्छन्ति ये के चात्महनो जनाः अनेजदेकं मनसो जवीयः नैनद्देवा आप्नुवन् पूर्वमर्षत् तद्धावतोऽन्यानत्येति तिष्ठत् तस्मिन्नपो मातरिश्वा दधाति. Whenever we look at ourselves and say aham, that aham, we don't doubt whether it exists or not, whether it is there or not. In the existence of aham, there is no question. In the presence of aham, there is no doubt. Doubt comes when it is said this aham is Ananda Swarupa. Because the way I look at my aham and the way Upanishad is looking at true aham. Sadhaka's drishti is sopadika, Upanishad's drishti is nirupadika. Sopadika means mixed up with conditioning. And the one that is pointed out in Upanishad is devoid of any conditionings. Upanishad mantra has come to shift our attention from sopadika to nirupadika. Whenever I think about myself, whenever I say aham, rather than my name coming to mind, rather than any quality, attribute, accomplishment coming to mind, rather than the relations coming to mind, if the word anejat comes to mind, that means Vedanta has started working for us. Anejat means that which doesn't have any movement, that which is kutastha, without any modification, that is anejat. Several lives can go just in holding on to mind, Several lives can go thinking, I am the mind. Whatever mind does, I also do the same thing. Mind is angry, I say I am angry. Mind is sad, I say I am sad. What we need to appreciate here is where the word aham is going. That is why Upanishad mantra comes and says, Manaso Javiyah. There is something which is beyond the mind. There is something which is a substratum in which mind appears. Faster than the mind means what? Wherever the mind goes, Atma is already present, but we saw it is not competing with the mind and then going forward. It is like space reaching every place before we reach there. It's already present. It is a substratum in which mind is appearing. Unless we do this mananam, the meditation pointer in these mantras will not open up for us. We will still think Anejat is somebody else, Ekam is somebody else, Manaso Javiyah is somebody else. It is talking about that Atma Tattva, which is the true meaning of the word Aham. That Aham alone is Ekam. There are no many Ahams here. If I see manyness, it is because of conditioning. Manaso Javiyah. Third indicator it was. First one was Anejat. Second was Ekam. Third was Manaso Javiyah. If you are able to memorize the Upanishad mantra, it's easier to follow Bhashya. We will know which part of Upanishad mantra we are elaborating right now. But if you can even keep it in front, that way you know which part of Bhashya we are referring to. So these three we discussed last time. Manaso Javiyah, Bhagwan first explained how this mind goes, how fast it goes. It can go to Brahmaloka also. But what did he point out there? How does it go? Through Sankalpa. Through Sankalpa, it does not leave the body and go somewhere. Through memory, through recollection, and through resolve. He says it goes to all those places. But no matter which form this mind takes, mind taking a form means tadakara vritti. If it thinks about a place, it takes the form of that place. Thinks about a person, takes form of that person. No matter which form it takes, consciousness is already present, illumining that particular thought modification. That is why it is Manaso Javiyah, faster than the mind. Three indicators then. Fourth one was Na enad devaha apnuvan. Devaha refer to sense organs. Apnuvan means objectify. And enat is Atma. Na enat devaha is there, right? In Upanishad mantra. Devaha refers to sense organs. Enat is Atma. Apnuvan is objectify. Means sense organs could not objectify that Atma. Sometimes if you miss few words, that meaning will be lost. Nainat deva apnuvan. But what does the word enat mean there? Or first of all, recognizing there is a word called as enat. Nainat is there, right? In the Upanishad mantra. Did you all find it or no? Nainat. So it is na enat becomes nainat. And enad word there refers to Atma. This Atma is such that devaha, sense organs, could not objectify. So let us read the Bhashya for that part. This is 21 page number in your Gita Press book. Nainad devaha Dyotanad devaha Chakshuradini Indriyani Etat prakrutam atma tattvam Na apnuvan न प्राप्तवन्तः तेभ्यः मनः जवीयः मनोव्यापार व्यवहितत्वात् आभासमात्रम् अपि आत्मनः नैव देवानां विषयी भवति। न एनद् देवाः द्योतनात् देवाः चक्षुरादीनि इंद्रियाणि. Bhagwan interpreted the word devaha as sense organs. He says wherever there is ability to illumine, they are devatas. So devatas, even when you see them in Pauranika form, they are bright, brilliant, Adidaiva devatas, Agni devata, Vayu devata when they come. That is how they show them. But in this Sharira, if you want to see devata, he says look at that place where there is ability to illumine. Where are those places? First one is Atma. Atma has ability to illumine. So can the meaning of the word Devaha mean Atma over here? No, because already it says Enat Shabda is there. Enat is referring to Atma. There is no point in saying Atma cannot illumine Atma. Then mind, can we take Devaha? Because mind also illumines. Ability to illumine is there in mind also. Can we take mind as the meaning of the word Devaha? It says no, just before we said Manaso Javiyaha. So then the third one is sense organ. They also illumine. That is why Devaha is interpreted as sense organs. Chakshuradini indriyani prakritam atma tattvam. That atma tattva which is currently being discussed. Because sometimes the word atma can go with mind also. Atma can go with intellect also. Atmaiva atmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanah. So there Atma doesn't mean Shuddha Atma. Atma means mind. 6th chapter, Bhagavad Gita. So like that Bhagavan says, Prakrutam Atma Tattvam. The topic of Atma Tattva which we have been discussing, that same Atma we are talking about here by the word Enat, it doesn't become object of sense organs. Na apnuvan praptavantah. It cannot objectify. Praptavanta means objectify. Na praptavanta means cannot objectify. Meaning, after studying Vedanta, this thought should go away. I want to experience Brahman. Sense organs not being able to objectify Brahman means what? Brahman doesn't become another experience. In fact, if at all it becomes an experience, we say that experience is not Prama. I was about to say Mithya, but I think Prama is palatable. Prama means knowledge. Anything that becomes object of sense organ, if we call that as Brahman, we say that is not true knowledge. Because here it is said, Nainat Devaha Apnuvan. Sense organs will never be able to know it. It is because of Brahman alone, sense organs are able to know. I can use sense organs to shift attention to Atma. Just like if I'm able to see my hand, means I have eyes which are illumining the hand. So looking at the hand, I can meditate upon the eyes. So looking at sense organs, I can meditate upon illuminator of sense organs. Tebhyaha manaha javiyaha. Tebhyaha means compared to the sense organs, indriyebhyaha manaha javiyaha. Mind is faster. Why do you say so? Now, comparison is between sense organs and mind. This is mind is faster than sense organs. Why is that? Mano vyapara vyavahitatvat. The functioning of sense organ is preceded by mind. Only when mind wants, sense organs will function. Sense organs are as though dependent upon the mind. Glimpse of this we get every day. Morning, if you want to wake up and you want to open your eyes, Chakshurendriya, some kind of kriya you want to do. Unless mind cooperates and says, really you have to wake up, this is kriya of Indriya is not possible. So many times we decide that we have to go somewhere, we have to do something. To go there, legs have to take us there. But unless there is mano vyapara first, there is vyavadhana, obstruction as though for sense organs to function. So Bhagavan says, if sense organs are dependent upon mind, and consciousness is something that even mind cannot know, how can sense organs know? That is his logic. He says senses depend upon the mind. Mind cannot know Atma. How can sense organs know if mind itself cannot know it? Abhasa matram api atmanah naiva devanam vishaye bhavati. Abhasa matram means chidabhasa. That itself doesn't become object of sense organs. How will that Atma Tattva, which is the original, become the object of sense organs? Devanam here again refers to sense organs. 4 indicators done. Anejat, Ekam, Manaso Javiyah, then Nainat Devaha Apnuvan. Last one is Purvamarshat. That part is coming now. That part is just one line, so I'll just read it. Yasmat Javanat Manasaha api Purvamarshat Purvam eva gatam. This mind is fast, no doubt. But consciousness is that which illumines the fastest thought of the mind. Yasmat Javanat Manasaha api. Mind is fast, but consciousness is faster than the mind. It is recognized before the mind. That is meaning of the word Purvam Arshat. Purvam means before, Arshat means recognized. Purvam Arshat, Purvam eva gatam. Wherever mind goes, consciousness as though reaches there before this mind. That is why it gets the name Purvam Arshat. What is the example of this? Vyomavad Vyapitvat. Just like space is all pervading, no matter how fast you go in space, space is already present before you reach there. So the important thing to note here is, meaning of the word Purvamarshat is, it is all pervading and it is eternal. Vyomavad Vyapitvat. It is all pervading and it is eternal. In that way, it is exceeding or excelling mind. There is no movement in consciousness. There is no function. There is no kriya in consciousness. That is why it is Anejat also, and it is Manaso Javiyah also. Anejat in its essential nature. Manaso Javiyah, from the standpoint of mind, it is a substratum. Okay. Now, next one is beautiful. It is the nature of Hiranyagarbha. Last quarter of this mantra is nature of Hiranyagarbha. Before that, one more quarter is there, right? Tad dhavatonnyan atyeti. Tishthat. That quarter will come first, but after that will come nature of Hiranyagarbha. So let us see that whole portion now. Sarvavyapi tad atmatattvam sarvasamsara dharmavarjitam svena nirupadhikena swarupena avikriyam eva sat upadhikrutaha sarvaha samsara vikriyaha anubhavati iti avivekinam मूढ़ानाम अनेकम इव च प्रतिदेहम प्रत्यवभासते इति एतत् आह तद्धावतः द्रुतं गच्छतः अन्यान् आत्मविलक्षणान् मनोवागीन्द्रियप्रभृतीन् अत्येति अतीत्य गच्छति इव इवार्थं स्वयमेव दर्शयति तिष्ठत् इति स्वयं अविक्रियम् एव सत् इत्यर्थः. This much only we'll see. The last quarter will come back later. Now Bhagwan is introducing the second line of the mantra. First line is done. Anejat ekam manaso javiyah nainad devaha apnuvan purvamarshat. Right? First line we saw in Bhashya so far. Now second line is starting. He is as though summarizing the first line and introducing the second line. See what he says. Sarvavyapi tad atma tattvam. Whatever we call as Atma, the innermost self of every being, it is not limited only to this body, it is Sarvavyapi. It is all pervading. There is no samsara in Atma. No ups and downs, no agitation, no anger, greed, jealousy, nothing is there. There is no creation only in Atma. What to talk about samsara in Atma? Sarva samsara dharma varjitam. So first we have to make a list of what is samsara. What are the things which we call as samsara? And then appreciate nature of Atma as sarva samsara dharma varjitam. This whole samsara is there because of some conditioning, not in Atma. Svena nirupadikena. From its own standpoint, from its nirupadika standpoint, swarupena avikriyam eva sat upadhikrutaha sarvaha samsara vikriyaha anubhavati. From its own standpoint, it is sarva samsara dharma varjitam. Nirupadika standpoint, it is not non-moving, avikriyam, and it is devoid of all samsara. But from the standpoint of upadhi, as though having identified with upadhi, it goes through all the different experiences of samsara. Sarvaha samsara vikriyaha anubhavati. Because final illuminator is Atma only. Final recipient of all anubhava is Atma. But look at the beauty of Atma. Bhagavan is as though inviting us to appreciate. It is non-experiencer, non-changing, but still it illumines all the changes. As though it is doing anubhava of all the changes. This nirupadika and sopadika standpoint, Bhagavan says we have to appreciate. Very subtle topic it is. If you say somebody else is experiencer or Atma is somewhere else, which is samsara dharma varjitam, doesn't have samsara, then we say, what about you? You say, I am different from Atma. I go through samsara. That is not Vedanta teaching. Atma is somewhere else. It will become some other darshana. Vedanta says, right there where there is ahankara, there alone Atma is present. But it is present in such a way, in spite of going through all experiences, illumining all experiences, it itself doesn't undergo any modification. It says, meditate upon yourself in this way. I am sarva samsara dharma varjitam, illumining all the samsara. And at samsara level, a sadhaka very quickly realizes there is no permanent solution. Because if I have to fix samsara, what is the tool that I need to fix samsara? I need karma. I need karma. Now, karma, there is nothing wrong with karma. What is the major limitation of karma? Impermanence. No matter what we have fixed using karma, it is only a matter of time, it will start falling apart again. So he fixes things very sincerely, but with this clear idea that so far so good. There is nothing permanent in this samsara. Purpose of life is to abide in that truth, which is sarva samsara dharma varjitam. That is his bhavana, that is his mindset. Anubhavati iti. Avivekinam mudanam anekamivacha pratideham prati avabhasate iti etad avaha. What is the real nature of this Atma Tattva? It is ekam. It is that truth in which all the beings are appearing. Entire creation is appearing in that consciousness. But if somebody is not alert, they don't pay attention to this Chaitanya, do as though Atma Hananam, then what happens? They see manyness everywhere. Mudanam anekam ivacha pratideham prati avabhasate iti etad aha. As though it appears to be different in different individuals. After studying Vedanta also, sometimes we can think in this way, that one consciousness is here, another consciousness is there, third is somewhere else. This one Mahatma Ji would say, if 100 of us are meditating in one room, what are we meditating upon? Sakshi. That is what we do, right? Drigdrishya Viveka. You are not the seen, you are the seer. Now, if 100 people are meditating, how many Sakshis are there? You say there is only one Sakshi, not 100 Sakshi on which each one is meditating. In English, they have some interesting words, right? Ishta Devata they call as personal God. Personal God. So there is no personal Sakshi. This is my Sakshi, this is your Sakshi. He says, I am that Sakshi on which everybody is meditating. This is another way to look at it. Okay, one way to look at it is, I am meditating on Sakshi. But if somebody has shifted identity to Sakshi, abiding in Sakshi, they can also meditate upon, I am that truth on which every Rishi Muni meditates. Only thing we have to be careful is not include any upadhi. Then this statement will look very out of place. In Kenopanishad, we had seen one example how, because of conditioning, infinite appears as finite. Do you remember that example? There is samashti vayu. Air is all-pervading. But the moment that all-pervading air enters body, what do we call that air as? This is my prana. Prana, simple meaning you put, breath. You ask Vayu, Whom do you belong to? This person is claiming you to be my prana. Vayu says, I am samashti, I am totality. He is identified with his conditioning. That is why he is labeling something which is infinite as finite and saying this is my prana. Like that, there is consciousness which is infinite. If our attention is on this body, then this line will open up where Bhagavan says, Avivekis see this Chaitanya to be limited by body. Says minus body, see if there is finitude in Atma. Minus conditioning, there is no finitude in Atma. Mudhanam anekam ivacha pratideham prati avabhasate iti etad aha. Now Upanishad mantra. Second line is tad dhavatah. Tad dhavatah drutam gachatah. It moves very fast. Tad dhavatah. Compared to whom? Anyan. Tad dhavatah anyan. What does anyan mean? Atma vilakshanan. It says whatever is different from Atma, you add everything under the word anyan. Atma moves faster than everything else. Tad dhavatah. Tat is referring to what here? Tat is referring to Atma. Tad Atma dhavatah. Anyan. Anyan means compared to all other, compared to that thing which is different than Atma. What all things are different than Atma? Mano vagindriya prabhutin. Mind, sense organs, everything else which is part of this assemblage. It says compared to that, Atma is faster. Atyeti. Atyeti means it excels. Atyeti gacchati iva. As though it goes faster than mind and sense organs. Now somebody might tell Bhagavan, Shankaracharya ji, this word iva, how come you added with your own mind? Means wherever you want to add the word iva, you add. Because that word means a lot. Iva means what? Really speaking, it does not go. But as though it appears to be going. Really speaking, Atma does not go anywhere. It is faster than the mind. Does not compete like two runners running, one is going faster. It says without moving, without undergoing any change, it excels everything else. So this Purva Pakshi is asking, how come you added the word iva? If you remove that word, we step out of Vedanta. If you remove iva, it will become some other darshana where Atma actually undergoes some change. Means Atma is also samsari. Atma is karta, it is a doer, it is enjoyer, and it is undergoing all the changes of samsara. So this Purva Pakshi says, how come you added the word iva? Iva word is there in Upanishad mantra. See, second line. Tad dhavato anyan atyeti. No, iva word is not there. He says, why don't you say Atma really goes fast? Going fast means undergoes modification. Bhagavan says, look at the later word. Tad dhavatah anyan, after that is what? Tishthat. He says the meaning of the word tishthat is iva. Meaning of the word tishthat is iva. Ivartham swayam eva darshayati. He says, iva I did not add from my side. I'm reading Bhashya now. Ivartham swayam eva darshayati. Iva Shabda, Upanishad mantra alone is indicating I am not adding it. How do you say that Iva Shabda is there in mantra? He said Tishtad iti. That word Tishthat, it means Iva. Swayam Avikriyam Sat Ityartha. From its own standpoint, being without any modification, it still goes faster than the mind, faster than everything else. From standpoint of conditioning, it appears as though it is moving. But from its own standpoint, there is no movement. What is the closest example for this? Sunrise and sunset. These are all classical Vedanta examples. Sunrise appears to be happening. Sunset appears to be happening. Movement is seen in the sun. Now you cannot deny it. Perception we cannot deny. This is, I feel that sunrise is happening, sunset is happening. But you ask from sun standpoint, you say there is no sunrise, there is no sunset, it is only Iva. What is the Upadhi here? The conditioning is rotation and the distance. If you are right next to sun, you will not see sunrise and sunset. Distance is also an Upadhi. If it is stationary, then also you will not see sunrise and sunset. So there has to be movement in the Upadhi and there has to be distance. Goswamiji gives a few more examples in Ramcharitmanas. He says if you are seeing children go round and round, I don't know what it is called. In Konkani, they call it as Fugadi. There is a folk art where you go round and round. For different festivals, they do it. And when you stand, the whole world appears to be going round and round. Means you feel you are stationary and the world is moving around. He says that is Brahma. Atma is non-moving. Upadhis are moving. But we feel Atma is moving. From its own standpoint, it does not. Because of some conditioning, it appears as though it is moving. Another classical drishtanta is, if you are sitting in a boat and going in one direction, that tree which is not moving on the bank appears to be going in the opposite direction. This Brahma is in a contemporary setting. If you are sitting in a train and the train next to you moves, you feel your train is moving. Superimposing movement of something else on a non-moving entity, that is called as adhyasa. So Atma is non-moving. Movement of conditioning is as though superimposed on Atma. So no doubt we feel as though there is tad dhavat, anyan atyeti. Means Atma is, there is some movement. It is excelling mind, sense organs and everything else. But really speaking, it is tishthat. Without moving, it is accomplishing everything else. Okay. Now, second line, first quarter is done. Correct? What is the first quarter of second line? Tad dhāvataha anyan atyeti tishthat. Until this point is all tvam-pada. It is talking about individual jiva. Means from the standpoint of individual conditioning, that truth is pointed out. Manaso javiyaha is from individual mind. Nainad deva apnuvan from individual sense organ standpoint. Purvamarshat, before this mind it is recognized. Tad dhāvataha anyan atyeti is also from tvam-pada standpoint. Now is the true flavor of Upanishad, where the same truth is pointed out from totality standpoint. That Atma Chaitanya which we just understood as Manaso Javiyah, rooted in that Atma Chaitanya alone. Tasmin. Tasmin is referring to Atma Chaitanya. In that Atma Chaitanya, having rooted, Matarishwa, which is Brahmaji, he distributes karmas and karma phalas of all jivas. Apaha refers to karma or karma phala. Matarishwa refers to Hiranyagarbha, Brahmaji. Tasmin apaha Matarishwa dadhati. Now, just like Bhagwan explained individual mind when he was explaining Manaso Javiyaha, when he is explaining total mind, he will also explain some indicators of Matarishwa. So, what did not become clear in Vedanta Sara, you will get more insights in Ishavasyopanishad. What is the nature of Hiranyagarbha? What is the nature of Matarishwa? But what is the main point here? Even Hiranyagarbha is rooted in that same consciousness. Hiranyagarbha is not independent. Hiranyagarbha is rooted in that same consciousness. Rooted in it, it gives karma phalas. Now, how many consciousness did we end up with? One consciousness which is faster than the mind, does not become object of sense organ. Another consciousness you said is that in which total mind is rooted and gives karma phala. So there is one consciousness which is Jiva Chaitanya, another consciousness which is Ishvara Chaitanya. Can we make this difference? Mahavakya will come and say there is only one consciousness. That Chaitanya alone illumines the mind. That Chaitanya alone is a substratum in which total mind is rooted. There are no two consciousnesses. Okay, this point, if you understand, we understand. In between is dangerous. What I'm going to say next. If you have to take a litmus test of whether we have started owning up Vedanta, the litmus test for that is how comfortable we are in using aham for tatpada. I will repeat this again. If we have to get a litmus test of whether we have started owning up Vedanta, means have we started letting go of upadhi and we are more and more abiding in Chaitanya. If somebody wants to get a litmus test, understand where am I right now. The litmus test is how comfortable we are in saying aham for tatpada. If we feel any hesitation, that means we are identifying with some upadhi. For example, what is this line here? Tasmin napaha matarishva dadhati. Rooted in that consciousness, Brahmaji alone gives results of all actions. Secondarily, you can say, Brahman is that substratum because of which all karma phalas are possible to be distributed. Even Brahmaji, Brahmaloka, everything is rooted in that Brahman alone. Now, what should be the comfort level? I should be able to say, because of me alone, karma and karma phalas can be distributed. Brahmaji distributes karma and karma phala rooted in me, rooted in aham. Now, wherever we see hesitation in owning up this statement, that is our obstacle, that is our upadhi. This is our Rishi Muni's way of helping us transcend. We are not interested in saying, I am karma phaladata. The point is, wherever upadhis are obstructing us, to know where those upadhis are, to scan our understanding and identify upadhis, is to see whether tatpada we can own up effortlessly. That is when true test of Vedanta will happen. Do you see how this is slightly difficult than the Tvampada Vichara? In Tvampada, it is easy to say, I am the witness of thoughts. I am that truth which is not illumined by sense organs. With that same comfort level, we should be able to say, I am that truth rooted in which Brahmaji distributes karma phalas. If that happens, that means Mahavakya has started opening up. With conditioning, Jiva is Jiva, Brahmaji is Brahmaji. From Chaitanya standpoint, it is that same substratum in which both these conditionings are appearing. Okay, so this is the introduction to the next part. Tasmin napaha matarishva dadhati. It has come to indicate that truth from the standpoint of samashti upadhi, total conditioning. Individual words, if it is clear, Bhashya will open up more. Tasmin is referring to what again? Atma. Apaha means karma. Matarishva means Brahmaji. Dadati means he distributes. Brahmaji distributes karma and karma phalas. He distributes duties and the results, rooted in that same Atma Tattva. Now Bhagavan, first he interprets the word Matarishva. Let us look at the simple meaning, then we'll enter Bhashya. Matari refers to space. Matari is space. Matari Shvayati, that which moves about in space. Matari Shvayati, that which moves about in space. What is it called as? Vayu. Vayu. Another name of Vayu is Matarishva. Matari Shvayati, that which moves about in space. Now Bhagavan says, with the word Vayu, we should not take Bhautika Vayu, that air which is blowing, that air which we can feel. We are not talking about that Vayu. He says Vayu refers to Adidaiva Vayu, which is Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha, another name for Hiranyagarbha is Prana. Vedanta Sara, we had seen three names, right? One was Hiranyagarbha, second was Prana. What was the third name? You can type it also. Hiranyagarbha is the thread which pervades everything in the creation. I'm giving a clue. Sutratma, very good. Very good. Three names were there. Prana, Hiranyagarbha, Sutratma. Consciousness conditioned by subtle conditioning. Same Chaitanya conditioned by Sukshma Upadhi. If you take that Upadhi to be Buddhi, then it is called as Hiranyagarbha. Chaitanya conditioned by total mind, total Buddhi is called as Hiranyagarbha. If you pay attention to Prana, that is also subtle. Prana is not gross. So from Prana standpoint, it gets the name as Prana. Same Chaitanya. From one standpoint, it is Hiranyagarbha. From one Upadhi standpoint. From second Upadhi standpoint, it is prana. One Mahatma Ji, while explaining this, he said, देखिए एक व्यक्ति है, one person is there. If he is doing worship of the Lord, same person is called as pujari. Now after that he goes and cooks something, same person is called as bhandari. Bhandari means the one who cooks. पूजा करे तो पुजारी, खाना बनाए तो bhandari. Like that, the same thing with two conditionings get two different titles. We should not have this question, oh, is it Hiranyagarbha or is it Sutratma or is it Prana? Same Chaitanya, if you look at it from Buddhi standpoint, it is Hiranyagarbha. Means it is that ashraya, that substratum in which all brilliance is rooted. Bhargo devasya dhimahi dhyo yona prachodayat. That bharga, that brilliance which is there in totality, may it shine brilliantly. Little bit is also okay in this intellect. Naha dhyaha prachodayat. So Hiranyagarbha means that which is a substratum of all bhaga, all good fortune, everything is present in Hiranyagarbha. Bhaga means abilities, not only good fortune. Fortune is one of it. From prana standpoint, it is called as prana. And it is Sutratma because it is as though an unseen thread binding each and every jiva together. Who should get which karma phala? There is a cosmic plan which is deciding how it should happen. This Hiranyagarbha topic is so beautiful. Thinking about Hiranyagarbha itself is one way of contemplation. Means understanding how this Hiranyagarbha is. Appreciating that itself is one form of meditation. When we look at a person, what we see through our physical eyes is only physical body. But that is not it. There is another facet of their personality, which is thoughts. And thoughts are something which never becomes seen. But where this physical body will go, what it will do, one who really decides is thoughts only. In the same way, when we look at creation, what meets our eye is only the gross world. But what decides how this interaction will happen, how things will go, the unseen thread, as though which is controlling this whole thing, that is Hiranyagarbha. So it is a substratum of this whole creation as though. Now substratum means it is not like, there is a plate and you keep a cup on top of it. Plate also is called a substratum of the cup. If there is a fan hanging from the ceiling, ceiling becomes a substratum of the fan. So like that is Hiranyagarbha, the substratum, and Jagat coming out of it. So no, it is substratum in a way that it pervades whole creation. Ota prota, just like threads are substratum of cloth. There are no two entities there. It alone pervades the whole cloth. Like that, Hiranyagarbha pervades entire creation. Hiranyagarbha, if you want more closer definition, you can say Bhagwan's mind. It is not different from Bhagwan, but it is Bhagwan's way of planning things, executing things. In Vedanta Sara, we had seen Sukshma Sharira has three facets, right? Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, and Kriya Shakti. Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, and Kriya Shakti. With Jnana Shakti, he knows precisely how planning has to be done. Then there is desire for that planning also. Ichha is also there. And execution of planning is also there. Kriya Shakti. All three are very healthy. For a sadhaka, he strives to increase all these three in Sukshma Sharira. But for Hiranyagarbha, all these three are supremost levels. Means if some sankalpa comes in Hiranyagarbha's mind, no jiva has the power to stop it. And if Hiranyagarbha wants to implement something, no vyashti can stop that implementation. More we appreciate this fact, deeper will be our devotion. That Bhagwan's mind, if it has decided something, hoi hi soi jo Ram rachi rakha, ko kai tarka badhave saka. What is the point in debating it too much? If he decides, that is how it will happen. I'm just introducing the points. When we see, next time we will see the Bhashya. What did we see now? The word Matarishva. Matarishvayati means literal meaning is Vayu. But we are not talking about that air which moves and we can feel. That Vayu refers to Samashti Vayu, which is Prana. Prana means Hiranyagarbha, also known as Sutratma. Now the word Apaha, Bhagwan interprets the word Apaha as all different actions that we are doing, different karma phalas that are coming our way. Whereas the literal meaning of Apa is water. If you just take the literal meaning of that last quarter, it will be Brahmaji gives tirtham to everybody. Tasmin apaha matarishva dadati. Means he takes water and he just distributes to everybody. But Bhagwan says apaha there is not water. Apa there refers to karmas. Now why does apa refer to karma? He says apa refers to karma because in every karma, either you use soma rasa, devatas use soma rasa, or you use ghee ajya, or you use payaha. Paya means water. Without water, no sankalpa can be complete. That's why even in any pujanam, when we do, we take first water. Sankalpa is after water. He says every karma has water as its main ingredient. That is why you have to take the meaning of the word apaha as karma. Now these Mahatmas, their whole life is dedicated towards understanding these words. So they come up with meanings which are so unique that you wonder, why did this not strike to us before? One meaning is clear, right? Why apaha is called as karma. Every karma needs water, because of which you are doing that. Sankalpa, karma is functioning. Now Anand Giriji, who is student of Shankaracharya, he gives second meaning. Second reason why apa is called as water. Apa is called as karma. He says, have you studied Chandogya Upanishad 6th chapter? I say, yes. What about it? Remember, there was an experiment done with Shvetaketu, where his father told him, fast for 15 days. As long as you drink water, your prana will be intact. Memory will go away because food is connected to mind. If you don't eat, you will not remember. That way you will get placebo, effect. Whatever is there, you are seeing the result of it. You remove that thing, you are not seeing the result of it. So you will be able to appreciate the connection of food and thoughts. But there, one line was there. Apo mayaha prana. Pranas are enlivened by water. And what is prana? Enlivener of all actions. Prana enlivens all actions. And that prana is enlivened by water. If you don't drink water, pranas will not continue. So that is why the meaning of the word apaha should be taken as karma. Apaha enlivens prana. Apomaya prana. That prana enlivens all actions. That is why that is the second reason why apaha, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji here elaborates as prana. Prana means karma. He is saying Brahmaji distributes all karmas rooted in that same Chaitanya. There are 4 words in this quarter, but every word is demanding lot of mananam. Tasmin apaha matarishva dadhati. Tasmin refers to Atma, matarishva is Hiranyagarbha, apaha is karma, dadhati means distributes. Okay. So Bhashya we will see when we meet next. We won't have class next week and the week after. 2 weeks we'll take break. But it is good time to go back and revise, recap. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. If you have been taking notes, then that is also good revision. If you can just look through, starting from Purnamada until this point. If you can read Bhashya, it's also good way to recap. Okay. I hope to see all of you during the Parayanam. If you can come in person, at least in the evenings. And morning also you can come in person. Chanters will be online. Chanters will be online. But I hope you're already having your Doha assignments, Chaupai assignments. Looking forward to seeing all of you. Hari Om, everyone. Hari Om.